we have from Ames, Iowa, a sophomore who is engaged to an Australian girl and also loves boy bands. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Keinert.
How we doing, Iowa State? This is my 20th Visha. I'm an Ames kid. Grew up in this town, so it's fuck that. Worse. So it's kind of interesting growing up in the same town, growing up in a town and then going to college there, because I still see all the kids that I knew, like from kindergarten and stuff. Like there's this kid Jay that I see all the time, and we used to have this competition in preschool about to see who could bring more stuff to school. And like who could bring more marbles or whatever. And the only time that my mom ever caught me was I was trying to leave the house wearing 17 pairs of underwear. I just had this huge orbit, had a butt, like a front butt and two side butts. And so I mean, I like growing up in this town. It's a really great town. And but yeah, so you go to elementary school and you start learning rules. You pinky promise. You cannot break that thing. It's like breaking the 10 Commandments. And you're like. The one rule is that anytime you come down to a dispute, it always comes down to rock, paper, scissors, every time. The one thing that I didn't agree with it, though, was that the whole rock, paper thing. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, could you hold this piece of paper? I'm just going to chuck a rock at you. Don't worry, it's just going to stop it, and it's going to wrap it up, and it's going to defeat it. So you don't have to worry about it. And then you have the whole awkward junior high thing, and everybody had braces, and everybody has that one picture where they look terrible, like 8th grade, got the braces and stuff going on, and then you get to high school, and then suddenly everything changes, and you've got this whole new set of rules to work with, and social groups, and it seems like everything always comes back down to missed some stuff. Everything comes down to just dances. Like people take dances so seriously, and I don't really know why, because I was always that kid that tried to make everybody that took dances seriously feel kind of stupid. And so, I mean, everybody else, puts on their lapels and, they have everything and they have the whole stuff going on and they're awkwardly dancing here. And I look like Kid Parkinson's out there. I'm just rocking out, and I think most guys have that one distinctive move, like my friends he just kind of goes like this all the time, the rap move. I call it the awkward hand job. Reminds me a lot of hand jobs in high school, actually. But yeah, we had it really great when we were kids too, and I think we kind of forget that. We had great television. Who here watched Power Rangers? Raise your fucking hands if you watched Power Rangers. Raise your hand if you ever wanted to be the Yellow Ranger or the Blue Ranger. Didn't think so. Nobody ever wanted to be those two. All the guys wanted to be. I'm sorry, miss. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Everyone always wanted to be either the Pink Ranger, the Green Ranger, or the Red Ranger. And I always went for the Black Ranger because, first off, nobody ever seemed to want him. Maybe it's just going up in Iowa, I don't know. But nobody ever seemed to want to be the Asian guy, the Asian chick, or the black guy. But I always wanted to be Zach because I always thought he was the coolest. He always kind of dancing all the time. And the guys, I guess I just thought that it would be more intimidating. There's two guys, two wimpy, white guys holding swords. Or I could be the big, muscular, kick-ass black guy holding an axe. And I always thought that was a lot more threatening. If I was a supervillain. Sorry about that. But yeah, and and then you grow up and you get all these new sets of rules. Every step of the way, you have new sets of rules. And when you get to college, you learn a lot of things like traffic. When you're a kid, you walk up to the curb, you look both ways, and then if it's clear, then you go. If you get to, and once you're in college, you walk up, you don't look, and you just go no matter what. It doesn't matter if a semi's coming at you. Oh, they'll stop. Don't worry about it. Apparently, if you're wearing your backpack and walking to class, 7,000 pounds of moving metal cannot break every bone in your body. And then there's drinking. And I always kind of laugh at those people that think that drinking isn't a real thing, or they say, I don't believe in drinking. How can you not believe in drinking? Have you ever been to Welch Avenue? It's like saying, I don't believe in sharks. You're on the beach, didn't eat. I don't believe in you! Can't really just say that. Another thing that changed is when I was in high school, I worked at Papa John's, and now I work at the Eurostand. So yeah, it's a whole nother, Eurostand? Anybody? Eurostand? Who's eating a drunken Euro? That's what I thought. He's not there anymore. Anyway, so the Papa John's, we still had the same kind of clientele. You know, people would call up, it'd be 10 o'clock on a Thursday. Hey, do you guys have pizzas? No, we actually just started selling dildos and mattresses 5 minutes ago. And you had those customers that came in that would like, it didn't matter how hot you told them the pizza was, they would still try and eat it. I bet you have a lot of friends like this, like you're like, oh, this pizza's really hot. Like, oh, fuck that. And they make that horrible sucking noise. Just trying to make it, and they get like 2 bites into it, and they're like, fuck this pizza. And then they wait for 5 minutes like everybody else did. It's like, was that really worth burning your whole mouth for? Yeah, and now I work at the Eurostand. I get a whole nother group of clientele. We have insecure girls, we have cocky guys, we have douchebag guys, like have everybody. And it's really interesting just being on the street, like you don't have that phone to talk to, like you're like 2 inches from them. And like there's this one girl that came up, and I was working at the Eurostand, and I could hear her in line, and she'd like tried to throw money at us or something like that. And then she was standing there so defiantly, like her boyfriend was ignoring her, and I could just hear her in the corner just going, I'm pretty. And we all heard it, and like to tell herself, like to how insecure are you to have to like tell yourself that you're pretty. And then, but yeah, there's my favorite customer. His name is Tyrone. I kid you not. He's this huge black guy. I think he's on the football team. He's one of those guys that drives by the UDCC just to let you know which rap song he is currently listening to. You know, he's got the speakers under the hood. You know, and it just sounds like dynamite exploding. Doesn't actually sound like music at all. And he comes to the Eurostand a lot. And I mean, he's a good tipper, but he's funny as shit. There was one time where it was the day after Halloween, and I was standing there, and I was wearing a Dr. Seuss hat, and it had like, you know, the red and white stripes or whatever, and this really drunk chick goes by, and she says, Waldo, you're Waldo, Waldo, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, ma'am, and he goes, bitch, you ain't no motherfucking Waldo. All right, I got one last thing for you, and then Tyrone also, one time he slipped on ice, and instead of going, oh, crap, you know, like the automatic reaction, his automatic reaction, I shit you not, was, oh, watch out, playa. I'm Tom Keinert. Thank you very much, guys. Happy V-Shot.